Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. ESPN Pundit names key player who may cost Arsenal the title if he gets injured. Steve Nicol has suggested that he does not believe that Arsenal will win the Premier League title if one player in particular gets injured at any stage over the season. Losing William Saliba really appeared to cost the Gunners last year. The 22-year-old sustained an injury in March, which would rule him out of the rest of the campaign. When Saliba made his final appearance of the season, Arsenal were 5 points clear with 11 games remaining, but of course, Man City were able to put together an outrageous run to win the title. This time around, City do not look anywhere near as convincing, and Arsenal are sat in second, 1 point behind Liverpool, so Mikel Arteta's men have a fantastic opportunity to go one step further this season. But speaking on ESPN, Steve Nicol believes that their title hopes could hinge on whether Saliba remains available. He said, well, I think the key is Saliba. Last year he got injured, missed the last 10-12 games of the season, and that really, in my opinion, was what stopped them winning it. This year, touch wood, looks like Saliba. I think he played every single minute of every single game pretty much, so his fitness doesn't seem to be in doubt. For me, the key is Saliba. If Saliba gets injured again, then I don't think they would manage to hold on, but if he stays fit, then they will be in it right to the very end. All three sides in title contention will have players they would ideally like to wrap up in cotton wool, and Saliba is definitely one of those for the Gunners. They do have other players who can play at centre back, and of course, it was Ben White and Gabriel who were so impressive together the year before Saliba got his chance. But there is a reason Saliba is arguably the best centre back in the Premier League, and there is also a reason Nicol sees him as the crucial player ahead of the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. Mikel Arteta confirms the 22-year-old Arsenal player is ready to feature versus Brighton. Arsenal take on Brighton and Hove Albion this weekend, and Mikel Arteta has provided some good news on Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian striker was taken ill before the midweek European clash with PSV. Martinelli missed the game completely, and there was a fear he'd be out for even longer. But ahead of Brighton this weekend, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has provided some good news when it comes to the fitness of Martinelli. Speaking in his press conference, quotes provided by ESPN's James Ollie, Arteta has indeed confirmed Martinelli is now fit and ready to go against Brighton tomorrow. He said, Martinelli is feeling good. We had no other news apart from Mo. He did a scan, it doesn't look serious. He is going to be with us very soon. This is a massive bonus for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Playing against Brighton is always hard work, and Arsenal will need all their best players available and ready to go. Martinelli is definitely one of the best in this current Gunners side. His performances this season have improved even on last year, and he appears to be getting better by the month. The young forward has been lauded for his performances this season at times. Indeed, teammate Jorginho has even lauded the work rate of Martinelli, admitting the Brazilian has something special about him in terms of that element of his game. To beat Brighton, Arsenal will need to be right at it and have everyone firing. Both are coming into the weekend off the back of European fixtures, and it's vital Arsenal are 100% on it. Martinelli being available then gives them a huge boost, and one which could swing the game right in their favor. Arsenal now believe they lead the race to sign £51.6 million star in January. Arsenal are preparing to make a move for Goncalo Inacio during the January transfer window, but Sporting will only let him leave if his release clause is triggered. Goncalo Inacio is one of many seriously exciting young players in the Portugal ranks. The 22-year-old looks to be destined for a big move in one of the coming windows, and it seems that Arsenal are ready to make a bid for the centre-back in January. Ibola in Portugal reports that the Gunners are poised to make a move for Inacio and are in a position to meet his asking price. They believe that they lead the race. Inacio's contract includes a £51.6 million release clause. It's not clear whether the Gunners would be willing to pay that amount, but the report suggests that they are in a position to do so. Certainly, it would be a major statement if Arsenal did manage to bring Inacio to the Emirates next month. Once again, Mikel Arteta's side are in title contention in the Premier League. They are also through to the knockout stages of the Champions League, but they are unlikely to be the only side in the running. Tottenham are interested in Inacio, as are Liverpool, and the news of Arsenal's interest may make those who have money to spend sit up and take notice. Inacio is an outstanding talent who is only going to improve further in the coming years, and he could be another game-changing signing for Arsenal. Obviously, William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes have formed an amazing partnership, but losing Saliba arguably cost Arsenal the title last season, and Gabriel has been such a stalwart of the side throughout Mikel Arteta's tenure. It remains to be seen if Arsenal do indeed have the funds to sign Inacio. They have strengthened significantly over the last few years, and signing David Raya on an initial loan appeared to be a sign that there was not a huge amount to spend, but perhaps that loan deal has opened the door for a little more movement in January. Arsenal hope to sign dangerous forward likened to Sergio Aguero at discount price. Arsenal have been heavily linked with Marcos Leonardo in recent months, and speculation is intensifying ahead of the January transfer window. The Gunners are well stocked in attack at present, but there is always a scope to bring in reinforcement, particularly when they are of Leandro's caliber. Now, according to Goal Brazil, Arsenal are plotting an approach for the Santos protege in the January transfer window. The Gunners haven't yet made an offer for the 20-year-old, but will look to formalize their interest when the window opens, claimed the report. In addition, Arsenal are apparently already aware that Santos has promised to negotiate the athlete from the next football market. The Brazilian club recently suffered relegation The Brazilian club recently suffered relegation to the second tier for the first time in their 111-year history. As a result, the Gunners may even get the chance to sign Leonardo for less than the €15 million Roma offered to Santos in the summer. Arsenal have outstanding knowledge of the Brazilian market, and they have several top players from the country in their ranks already. Aside from the signings who have come directly from Brazil, you also have the more established Brazilian players who joined from European leagues like Gabriel Jesus and Magalhaes. If Leonardo were to move to Arsenal, he'd have a great support network of fellow countrymen and Portuguese speakers, and the Gunners would be getting a top talent at just 20 years of age. He already has 168 appearances for Santos under his belt, along with 54 goals and 11 assists. Leonardo is a top talent who has been likened to Sergio Aguero and deemed an extremely dangerous forward. All in all, Leonardo seems like a great shoot for Arsenal. Let's see whether the speculation becomes more concrete in weeks to come. Fabrizio Romano has update on a player Arsenal want to sign to replace Thomas Partey. Fabrizio Romano has shared an update on the future of Calvin Phillips amid speculation that Mikel Arteta's Arsenal want to sign him. The Italian journalist has reported that Phillips will certainly leave Manchester City in the January transfer window. So, what has Fabrizio Romano said about Arsenal target Calvin Phillips? Let's take a look. Well, Arsenal have been linked with Calvin Phillips. According to Tutto Juve in November, the Gunners want to bring in the Manchester City midfielder as a potential replacement for Thomas Partey. Juventus want Partey on a loan deal, and if the Ghana international defensive midfielder leaves, then Arsenal would like to bring in the 28-year-old. Liverpool have also been linked with the midfielder who has struggled to make an impact at City since his move from Leeds United in the summer of 2022. Newcastle United are interested as well. Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano has reported on X that Phillips will 100% leave City in the January transfer window. In my view, Calvin Phillips would be a brilliant signing for Arsenal in the January transfer window. Phillips plays with Declan Rice for England. I believe that the former Leeds United star could star alongside the former West Ham United ace in the Arsenal midfield. Thomas Partey has had injury problems this season and has also been deployed at right back. I think that Phillips would be an upgrade on the former Atletico Madrid star. Having said that, I do not think that Man City will sell Phillips to Arsenal in the middle of the season. After all, Mikel Arteta's side are one of their main challengers for the Premier League title this season, so why would the citizens make the North London club stronger? Arsenal are now taking the first steps towards signing a world-class player. Ivan Toney has been linked with Arsenal for what feels like an eternity now. Almost as soon as the summer transfer window closed, the Gunners were linked with a move for Toney. The striker is said to be a top target for Arsenal, and now, with January just around the corner, the wheels are coming into motion to get this deal done. Indeed, according to Rudy Galati, the North London club are now taking the first steps towards signing Toney in January as the winter window beckons. It would seem that Arsenal aren't wasting any time in getting this deal moving. The world-class striker is said to be very much open to move to Arsenal, and it does look as though the Gunners are favourites for this one. As Galati says, Chelsea and Manchester United are also keen, but at this moment in time, it's hard to make a case for any footballer joining the Blues or the Red Devils ahead of the Gunners. Never mind, a player as ambitious as Tony. Tony remains banned from football until the middle of January, so whether he signs on the first of the month or towards the middle of January won't really make much difference. Those early training sessions may well help him to settle, but he won't be able to make an impact on the pitch for a few weeks yet. Arsenal are getting the ball rolling on this front, and it will be interesting to see what sort of progress they can make on this deal in the coming weeks, as Brentford will more than likely hold out for a big fee for Tony. Whether or not this deal gets done remains to be seen, but it would appear that Arsenal do want Tony through the door next month. Joey Cole says 25-year-old player Arsenal want to sign could be as expensive as Declan Rice. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move to sign Douglas Luiz, and Joe Cole believes the Aston Villa midfielder could cost as much as Declan Rice in January. The Gunners are expected to be active in the winter window. Mikel Arteta needs a couple of players to give his side the best chance of going all the way in the title race, and Luiz's name has come up a lot over the last few weeks. Arsenal smashed their transfer record to sign Declan Rice from West Ham United in the summer. The Englishman cost the Gunners a staggering £100 million, with an additional £5 million set to be paid as add-ons if they are met. After Arsenal spent such a huge fee, Todd Bowley's Chelsea went and splashed £115 million to sign Moses Caicedo from Brighton and Hove Albion. That has inflated the market for midfielders, and Joe Cole believes Arsenal target Douglas Luiz will cost a fee in the same region next month. He said on TNT Sport, If you are looking at the price tag around them, Rice, Caicedo, and Enzo, it has got to be in the ballpark. He has been performing in the same league as them, performing better than Caicedo arguably. Rice has been outstanding as well as he has been, but he is in and around them numbers, and he is a huge asset for the club. Douglas Luiz has been amazing for Aston Villa this season. The Brazilian, 25, has always been a good player, but he has taken his game to a whole new level under the tutelage of Unai Emery over the last year. However, as good as Luiz is, he is not worth £100 million. Declan Rice is levels above him, and even though Arsenal view him as their priority target, it makes no sense to pursue a deal if Aston Villa's demands are that high. It will be interesting to see what will happen next month, but we just can't see Arsenal spending anywhere near £100 million to sign Luiz in January. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.